शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. First, let us understand the word brahmacharyam. Brahmaha charyate iti brahmacharyaha. This is the Sanskrit explanation of that word. Charya means living. Brahma means like existence. Living like existence is brahmacharyam. Understand? The word brahmacharyam is not, as you all understand, celibacy. Of course, maybe celibacy also is included, but not just celibacy. In English, we translate this word as a celibacy. No. The word brahmacharyam means Brahma charyate iti brahmacharyaha. Living like existence. Existence means Sat Chit Ananda, truth, consciousness and bliss. Living like existence, living like God, living with a tremendous independence, living with great clarity, living with high energy. Sat means clarity, truth. Whenever you are caught by fear or greed, you will not see the reality as it is. The moment you say, he is my husband, you will not see him as a male or female. The moment you see somebody as your spouse, that's all. You reduce that person to a matter. You will not see that person as a male or female. The moment you bring I and mine into the mind, you will see people in a different way. You will not see the reality as it is. Whenever you bring I and mine, you bring suffering to your life. A small story. One elderly gentleman, an old man, went to a nearby village and came back to his village after finishing his job. From the distance, suddenly he saw his house is on fire. He started shouting, crying, rolling on the ground. Oh, my house is on fire, my house is on fire, save me, save me. My life has gone. He has got 4 sons. One son ran and came near him and told him, don't worry, yesterday we sold that house, don't bother about it. Immediately he just jumped and he became perfectly alright. He said, oh, that's okay, then okay, let's go. He started smiling and walking. Second son ran and came to him and said, we sold, it is true, but we have not yet got the money. Again he started rolling on the ground and started crying, oh, my house is gone, my house is gone, please save me. My life is completely ruined, save me. He started crying. Third son came, don't worry, just today morning I got the money and put it in the bank, don't worry. Money is in our hand, we are safe. Just he jumped out again and he said, oh God, then it's okay. And he became alright. Same incident, same person, same situation. The moment I and mine connection came, suffering started. When he understood it's not mine, suffering disappeared. Same situation, same person, same scene. But I and mine changes the whole perspective of reality. The Sat, the truth, will not be experienced by you the moment you bring I or mine. Second thing, consciousness means energy, intelligence. The moment you bring I and mine idea, you will not have intelligence. As long as you have I and mine idea, you will always have the highs and lows, peaks and valleys of energy. Sometime you will go to high energy and sometime you will go to the low mood. If you feel somebody is your spouse, somebody is your lover, the moment you have that mind, she or he can take you to the high mood or low mood. When you are around him, you may go to high mood. When you are away from him, you may go to low mood. After some time, when you are around him, you will go to the low mood, and when you are away from him, you will go to the high mood. He can play with your consciousness. He can play with your inner space. Your inner space is sold to somebody. Your inner space is ruled by somebody. You are literally a slave of somebody. They can easily play with your inner space. Means you are not conscious about your inner space. Your consciousness is not under your control. Sat, Chit, Ananda, truth, consciousness and bliss. If you have I and mine, you will not be able to experience the truth as it is. If you have somebody as yours, your consciousness will not be under your control. Your inner space will not be under your control. Third thing, your bliss is dependent on somebody. If you are caught by somebody, if your bliss is guided by somebody, you can never love that person. You may act as if you are loving. You will always have a deep vengeance towards that person. Let it be very clear. Living like existence means living like a Satchitananda with the truth, consciousness and bliss. Whatever hinders these three, we will go beyond it. That is the whole purpose of this program, Brahmacharyam. Whatever hinders these three, putting you in Sat-Chit Ananda, we will go beyond it. Before entering into the program, as usual, I want to talk about this program very clearly. Let you be very clear. In three ways this state is achieved usually. Mani, mantra, aushadha. Mani means by the strong will. Mantra means by the help of the master, the energy. Aushadha means the alchemy process, the technology. Technology means even you having like this place and sitting with master, all these things are technology. Cooking is a technology. Cooking means you keep a vessel and you light a lamp, you light a fire, then you drop things into that and you allow that whole process to happen. Same way, here we have a speaker, we have mic, we have a hall, you all are sitting with me. Even this is a alchemy process. Technology. If the mic is not there, technology will not be done. The reproduction will not happen. So this process, creating a space for it and all the process, doing all the process, you will be going through so many things like a Panchatapas and all. Panchatapas means you will be sitting inside the fire and meditating. This process, this is what is technology. Mani, mantra, aushadha. Mani means strong will. Mantra means master's support, the energy. Aushadha means technology. Through these three things you can achieve Brahmacharya. Now we are going to use all these three. Understand, because you are going to use all these three, big danger, you will not fail. If you are sitting here with the idea, oh, I'll attend this program and go back and live my life, you are wrong. You are mistaken. You are in wrong place. Because you are going to use all these three, there won't be any failure. You will not be able to go back and live your life. Let you be very clear. Here again you are entering into a non-return zone. Non-return zone. That is why I tried my best to filter Now it's your responsibility to understand whether you can sit here or not, whether you will be able to handle the whole thing or not. Mani, mantra, aushadha, strong will, the first requirement. Mantra, the master's support, the second requirement. Aushadha, technology. Aushadha means literally medicine. The Aushadha word translation of that word means medicine. Medicine means to make a medicine, you need to put so many things, ingredients, and nicely crush it and burn, do so many process. Just like that, I will be putting so many ideas, truths into your head and crushing you literally and burning you. Burning means literally burning. Let it be very clear. Don't think when I use the word burning, it's some mystical sense. Literally you will be sitting inside the fire and meditating. Let you be very clear about the whole alchemy process. You see, Brahmacharya is all about handling the fire in your body. Look little deeply. Whenever you are not able to handle the fire awakened in your body by the desire, you fall prey for a desire. You just go behind fulfilling the desire. Person who can handle that fire, inner fire, will become brahmachari. The fire which is awakened from Mooladhara and which reaches Swadhisthana. See, whenever you are caught by sexual desires, you can feel very clearly the fire will be awakened from Mooladhara and it will reach Swadhisthana, which is awakened, which starts burning in Mooladhara. If it becomes more, you are caught by desire. You see, all fires, all your problems are only this fire. Whether it is a disease or hunger, or everything in your life is this fire only. If this fire reaches Manipuraka, it becomes hunger. If this fire does not raise at all, if it is imbalanced, it becomes disease. If this fire raises and touches Swadhisthana and comes back, it's a sex life, up and down. Understand? Whenever, if this fire raises from Mooladhara and sucked by Swadhisthana, you die. From Mooladhara. If it reaches Manipuraka, fully burning, you feel the hunger. If it just reaches Swadhisthana and comes back, then it's like a sex. You go to the pit and fall into that. That is why whenever you finish the sex act, you fall to such a depth or such a valley, you feel practically you are dead. You are dead. The raising and falling of fire, the temperature, that heat, this is a sex act. And from the same Mooladhara, if the fire goes to Swadhisthana, it does not fall back. Just Swadhisthana sucks the whole fire. The fire does not fall back to Mooladhara, means death, over. This is a circle, life. This is death, over. Now, we are going to create an energy, the fire, in such a way, it will neither be in Mooladhara nor be in Swadhisthana. It will just completely, it will be sucked by Swadhisthana. It will not be in the Mooladhara, but it will not die physically. Understand? Usually, when this fire is sucked by Swadhisthana, you will physically die. You will not be alive anymore. Now, we will do the same process in such a technical way. Physically you will not die, but the fire will be sucked by Swadhisthana. That is what we call Dvija, rebirth. If you take the Brahmacharya initiation, Why you are given new name? Because this fire will not be active anymore. This fire will be sucked by the Swadhisthana, which usually happens only when you die. The same process which will happen when you die will happen to you without you dying physically. A man who knows the Ashtanga Yoga, means the technique of this transformation, he does not need a part of the body which hits the other person. The technology to make this happen, now technically we will create the energy in such a way the same fire will be evaporated from Mooladhara and it will go and settle down in Swadhisthana, disappear in Swadhisthana. This whole process your body will be able to withstand. Because it goes through, we are going to do it in a procedure, in a step by step way. And moreover, Master's presence. You will not die physically, but you will be practically dead as far as this process is concerned. This, see, going up to Swadhisthana and coming back to Mooladhara is the whole life. Nothing else. You take birth and die. This is the whole life for any normal human being. When you do this process, the fire is taken away from Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, but you are not physically dead. Literally, we will create the inner fire and outer fire. Inner fire and outer fire. Your body will be made to withstand any fire inside. Whenever you are caught by desire, you will see a subtle fire happening in your body. Naturally, you never withstand. You will never be able to handle the fire. Immediately you will go into what mind wants, what body wants. Now, you will create such an intense energy, the fire will never be awakened once more. Your body will be so strong, you will never feel that fire. That fire will not be able to move your body. That fire will not be able to dictate your body. That fire will not be able to make your body to do what it wants. Understand? You are entering into a very intense process. Very intense process. This program is an intense alchemy process. Literally, you will be made to sit in fire. Whatever I did, you will be doing. Whatever meditations I did, whatever alchemy I went through, you will be going through. See, there are programs, you can come here, learn, enrich yourself, be happy and go. But this program is not for that. It is just to disappear. You as you will not be there. So this is not for you. Let it be very clear. This time the process is going to be really intense and wonderful. So before that, let it be very clear, really you want to do. And one more thing, women who had the menopause will not be able to do all the techniques. You should not do all the techniques. The elders can sit as long as you want. Just listen to the things, but you can't do the meditation techniques, because the body which can create semen and the egg, only that body can go through this whole process. Literally, a poison will be injected into your body. Poison will only, the venom is the only medicine for poison. Poison is the medicine for poison. Just like that, the tremendous energy will be infused into you. If you are not bitten by a snake, if they put a venom injection, you will die. So if you are already finished your menopause, or if you are above 50 or 60, men, your body will not be able to handle this meditation technique. Do not do. It's a very intense process. The body which still creates semen, still creates egg, only will be able to handle this whole technique. And I wanted all of you to know a few things before entering into the process. It's not something like a frightening, but it is my responsibility to tell. Before entering into the process, you should know what you are entering into. What kind of process you are taking up, what you are really entering into. Because people are really greedy about experiences, about spirituality. But when it comes to doing something, they are totally shaken. They are at last. So let you be very clear before entering into the thing, what you are entering into. That is why we put the tradition, puts all these basic conditions before entering into this type of spiritual alchemy process. No personal property. You may think, having personal property and this program, how are they related? You do not know. If you have personal property, there is always a guarantee you can jump and escape and run away. You have a security. You have a backup. You have a support. If you, between the process, if your ego is disturbed, you can always do, why should I listen to this fellow? Forget about him. You have your survival. Then there is every possibility you will not be able to go through the program, or you will not be able to intensely experience it. If you have any backup, any other lifestyle, simply forget about the whole program. Go and live that option. If you have any other, actually, one more thing, this brahmacharya life itself is option only. You can achieve enlightenment even without brahmacharya. Let me be very clear. I wanted to make this point very clear. Even without this brahmacharyam, you can achieve enlightenment. It is possible. It's not that it is not possible. But still I have not found anybody achieving through that route. That is different. That is different. But theoretically, it is possible. It is possible. Many people say it is possible. So okay. The whole brahmacharyam program, apart from enlightenment, it's a big liberation. Getting enlightened is one thing. Even otherwise, you will be liberated from the need of the other person. It's a big freedom, liberation. Only people who are really interested in that come back for next session. Otherwise, do not come. One more thing, do not take this program in a simple way. If you really go through this, after that you will not be able to marry or live with somebody. So if you are not clear about your life, better do not be here. And later on, do not blame me. No personal properties, no personal relationships, no meat or drugs, because this whole process is taking you to the higher energy. Meat and drugs will pull you to the lower energy. An intense commitment to master and his mission. You may ask, why intense commitment to master and his mission? This is not some selfish concept. The reason is, brahmacharya will give you tremendous strength and freedom. If you are not having a proper guide after you being empowered, there is every possibility you will become a devil. All of you should know, Hitler is a full intense brahmachari. He never had a girlfriend. Understand, Hitler is a brahmachari, is a celibate, never had a girlfriend. Problem, brahmacharya empowered him, gave him tremendous power, but there is nobody to guide. It gave shakti, but not buddhi. Nobody to guide. So naturally what happened? He became a devil, demon. He did not have anybody to control. He did not have guilt. He did not have conscience. Brahmacharya will empower you, will simply empower you. And if you don't have a master to whom you are committed or who is there as a guide, such a lot of energy and power, you will start behaving like a crazy devil, crazy demon. You will be able to do whatever you want, but you will start doing such a things without knowing the side effect or after effect. You will bring misery to you and others. That is the reason these 4 vows are emphasized. No personal property, so that you will not run away between the program. No personal relationships. Of course, that is the purpose of the whole program. And one more thing, even if you don't have property, sometime if you have some personal relationship like a father, mother, you will have psychological support and you will run away. You will run away. And no meat or drug, and no a deep 3 no's and 1 yes. 3 no's is no personal property, no personal relationships, and no meat or drug. The yes is a deep commitment to master and his mission. Let you be very clear. If you have any problems with these regulations, do not enter into the hall. It's like a surgery. If you think here, oh, I can be here, I have no problem, I spoke to Swamiji, he will exempt me, after all I know him. All this nonsense, if you are keeping in your mind, then between the surgery, it's like a tumor, it will come out. And when it comes out as a tumor, you will just run away. Then I am not responsible. If before surgery also you will be alive. After surgery also you will be alive. But between surgery, if you run away from the table, operation theatre, nothing can be done. I am not responsible. So let you be very clear. I am not responsible for side effects or after effects. If you are sitting here without fulfilling these 4 oath, 4 vows, consciously whatever power you have, your intellect, your mind, your body, your being, with all that, if you are ready with this 4 commitment, then be here. Otherwise, better be wherever you are and do whatever you want. I will take care of only devotees' problems, not disciples. For disciples, I will only give problems. As long as you are outside, I will take care of all of your problems. I am like a god. But the moment you become a disciple, I am a guru, I am not a god. God will console you and take all your responsibility. Guru will put you in trouble and make you responsible. There's a big difference. Now I am not God, I am Guru. So I will make you responsible.